my name is Iryna. I used to be a Java developer at a firm here in Lviv called NIX for about 4 to 5 years. Before I decided to learn a new technology, I found Ruby. I fell in love with it. One thing led to another. I quit my day job and began freelancing. And ever since I began working for my own, I thought that, well, since my clients are in the UK and Australia and the US, I don't have to be in any particular space per se. So it's worth considering whether I want to stay in Ukraine or maybe go and see the world for a little while. But my boyfriend at the time was still working at a 9-to-5 job, so we didn't get to go and travel for extended periods of time until about a year and a half ago when we got a chance to go and stay in Southeast Asia for an undetermined amount of time. And this is what I want to talk about today. It's been 14 months, and ever since I came back, I've been bombarded with all sorts of questions from my friends. But most of all, the question that comes up most often is it worth it? Is it worth it for me to quit my comfy job with a programmer's salary and take off to a tropical island to code at the beach and sip margaritas and surf in the afternoon and live the good life? And the answer to that question, as with anything in life, is it depends. It depends on what kind of person you are and what drives you. And this is what I want to talk about today. If we look at the Google search trends for digital nomad, we see this spike at around 2008 or 2009. And I haven't checked, but it could be correlated to the publication date of Tim Ferriss's famous book, The 4-Hour Workweek. I think it did introduce the term, but I'm not sure. And it's been picking up steam ever since, which I have to say I'm pretty surprised about. I'm surprised that people are still not sick of the millions of articles on the Medium selling this hyped up and romanticized dream of working and traveling at the same time. And we see thousands of Instagram accounts like these. And all this is fine and dandy. I don't have anything against this. The only problem is they tell only one side of the story. And today I want to talk about a different side. But, well, who am I to judge? My Instagram account opens with a picture like this. And this is legit. This is actually our first house in Bali, and it really looked like this. And I don't think there's even much filtering action going on here. It really looked like this, so bright and beautiful, and there was more watermelon. And for a month, I began my working day like this. But what you don't see in this picture is that this could only happen for about 2 hours in the morning before the heat and humidity picked up at 10 a.m. to the point that it was too sweaty to work outside. And since we arrived in Bali in the middle of the rainy season, most of our programming actually looked like this, with the raining outside and us staying inside. And to be fair, I also posted this picture on my Instagram account, and this is me dropping my iPhone on my MacBook and scattering the screen. And right around the time when my boyfriend's laptop also broke down of old age, and right after Elance, the freelancing platform that we both freelanced on, blocked both of our accounts at the same time because our traffic suddenly started coming from Indonesia rather from Ukraine, and we did not know to warn them about this. And because their support queue was overloaded, it took us actually 4 months to finally pass all of the security measures for them to unblock both of our accounts. Needless to say, this was a tiny bit stressful of a time. And also, yeah, but most of my Instagram account pictures look like these, and I actually ate papaya from that tree, so that was awesome. And like this is the same first house, and we had a beautiful view overlooking the rice fields. And oh, this is interesting. So this is also on my Instagram. This is the first time I got to the beach. I didn't even have a bathing suit with me. I got inside, and the picture looks fine, but the one that I did not post to Instagram was the one that happened a few seconds later, which is this. A huge wave came, and it hit me against this rock, and this was just one of the bruises that I got. And the rest were bigger, but not for show. And this was how it looked during the first probably 4 months when either me or my boyfriend gotten sick at a different point in time and with all kinds of crap. And this is something that is also not often talked about. But Bali's great, and Thailand, some of the best views in the world. You get to walk around the rice terraces like these ones, or watch the beautiful sunsets, or swim in the serene waters, or maybe surf if you're into that kind of thing. But my favorite is just simply wave watching, which I really, really enjoyed. So we arrived in Bali, and we settled down in this tiny town called Ubud, right in the center of the island. And it's actually far from the ocean, and when you initially come to Ubud, it sort of looks like this village-like town. It does not look like much, and you begin to wonder why it is sort of semi-famous with digital nomads. So you drive around like this. It's sort of like roads surrounded with slums and little shops, and It's just, and then you decide to take a detour, and you walk into a restaurant, and you walk past the hallway, and you go to the terrace, and then you see this view, and it's overlooking a huge cliff with a river down there, and you begin to begin to sort of get Ubud and get why people love it, and it's hard not to love it once you find out all the little secrets about it. So for a month, probably a month, we were so amazed with Ubud. We explored everything. Life was great. Everything was new. But then after a while, we sort of, the thing is that when you explore a lot, your work lags behind. If you try to concentrate on work, your every day begins to look the same. You wake up, you have breakfast, you work a little, you have lunch, you work a little more, and maybe the next day you rinse and repeat. So it's really hard to find that balance between exploring and working and being productive. So for us, we found that balance in a cool co-working place in Ubud called Ubud. And it's an beautiful all bamboo space with members' lunches every week, very good community with talks by startup founders that happen to drop by Bali for their vacation. And we really enjoyed working from there, but most of all, we met some of the best people there. So these people that we've met there showed us this little gem. It's an open 50-meter swimming pool in the middle of the jungle, 20 minutes from Ubud, almost always available exclusively to our swimming crew, and we probably would not have found it on our own. That was some swimmer that was preparing for a triathlon found it, and we got to go there. And also this jogging track with amazing cliffside views. So we had a swimming crew and a jogging crew, and life was awesome, and we worked from this co-working space. And but the problem with making friends and spending company while you're on the road is that those people are also on the road. They're also digital nomads, and when time comes, they move on. And when they move on, it can annoy you depending on how much effort you put into a relationship and how much of a need for friendship you have. But don't let it discourage you from reaching out and meeting new people. I met this crazy lady from Kiev in Bali, and we clicked immediately, became very good friends. And I actually just this morning I got this message from her. So she will be in Lviv in 2 days, and we will meet up and catch up, and I honestly cannot wait. And then once you find friends, you get invited to these outdoor movie screenings and cuddle parties and music events and yoga by the river with some yummy breakfast on a banana leaf. And so it's really important to find new people and go out there, not just stay within your comfort zone and with your partner. Because when you're walking around the city, just exploring the cafes and shops and streets, everyone is sort of also on their own. So it's hard to meet new friends. So co-working places, communities, salsa parties, whatever, all very useful. By the way, there's a common, not misconception, but just a thought that when you're traveling, you tend to eat like crap. And not a case in Bali at all, especially in Ubud. You can eat all kinds of healthy stuff and smoothies that you can drink through a bamboo straw, or even green juices, or whatever, wheatgrass juices. That was actually at the gym that we went to, and then you drink it with some sort of lime. Yeah. So when in Bali, when in Asia in general, you tend to take a bike because the roads are so narrow and there's so many cars. If you rent a car, you will get stuck in the traffic. So that looks nice, except when this happens, and then these things, they do not heal at all in the humid climate. I still have, it's still healing. It's been months, and I don't know. I'll go check it out by the doctors because it's not fully healed. And by the way, while on this topic, health insurance, if you cannot afford health insurance, you cannot afford to travel. I've seen too many posts on the internal Facebook group for Russian-speaking community asking for help because people did not have a health insurance. It's absolutely a must. So housing, this is one of the houses. There's another one that we lived in, quite nice European-style house. You can get a house with a semi-open bathroom, and when it's raining, it's sort of raining on you if you want to have a rain shower. So the choice of housing is amazing in Bali, especially for a programmer's salary. If you can shell out $500 per house, or maybe $7, you get something like this. This is a friends of mine house with an amazing cliffside view and an open kitchen and sort of this area where we would watch movies. And when it's raining, it's sort of just breathtaking. Or you can live in this Santa Mandala village, which is a tiny bit more expensive, but the view I think is worth it. So Ubud is this is what Ubud is like. You drive inside the town and it looks like these slums, and you take a detour and you see this. So I really like it. But if yeah, the downside with all the open construction and building so that the humidity does not get to you is that you get to cohabitate with like geckos and ants and all kinds of bugs, and so you just have to get used to it. There's no way around it. Situation in Thailand is sometimes a little bit better because they build differently, but in Bali, you just get to love them. There's there's nothing you can do.
They stay at your home at night.
They do stay at your home at night.
Yeah,
Sometimes
they scream all night.
they scream all night, and the first time you hear it scream, you're if you don't know what it is, it sounds like there's a huge creature outside your house that's about to eat you. And the first time that we heard this thing scream, we were terrified with my boyfriend. We did not know what was going on. It was in the middle of the night. We just wanted to survive the night, and it's terribly loud. So there's tons of things to do in Bali. This is a picture from Bali Dacha. It's a Russian style sauna on the weekends with fresh bakery and lounge zone, and yeah, if you're into that kind of thing. Or you can take a trip to like a private island, no electricity, you're all by yourself if you want to. Or you can go and visit a green school in Bali, which is a famous eco and sustainable school that was visited by Richard Branson and Bill Clinton and the UN ambassadors, and take an excursion and learn about how they teach kids there and how they raise leaders. And the daughter of the founder of this school actually has an architecture firm that builds these amazing bamboo houses. And they also offer detailed excursions, and that you can go and see how these houses are built. So it's something more educational aside from just swimming and surfing. Or if you're not into that kind of thing, you could just sip on some coconuts. After a year of all of that awesomeness, it was really cold. But I got a case of severe travel fatigue to the point where I could not even think about booking another Airbnb or another flight or arranging a visa or a taxi to the airport or packing or unpacking. And I got nauseous about this thing. And the more you move when you're traveling, the more erratic your life becomes. And you get jet lag from flying. And then you arrive at the hotel and there isn't a proper table to work at. And you go and try to find a cafe with a proper Wi-Fi, and it takes forever. And then you want to explore the new things in the new place that you came to. And then your client gets mad because you blew the deadline. So what looks so nice in the pictures in the beginning, in reality looks a little bit more difficult. And for me, I don't know, I'll go back because I'm not sure if that doesn't make you dizzy in the looping video. For me, even the simplest things began to irritate me to no end. For example, I really crave mashed potatoes. It can sound simple, but in Bali they don't do mashed potatoes. They don't even sell potato mashers. And for me, I wanted it so much that it took me a week to find a potato masher, and I did not find it. Talk about simple life. And this is what travel fatigue is about. The simplest things that you would never think that would be difficult in your hometown suddenly become so difficult that you get irritated out of your mind. And this is what happened to me. And so when you do this for a year, at some point I came to a thought that all I want is just pack my things and go home and have some mashed potatoes and unpack and stay in an apartment for an extended period of time and know that I don't have to move somewhere in a couple of weeks. And as much as I wanted to go to Bali a year and a half ago, I really wanted to go. Just as much now, I wanted to come back. And even though all of this was wonderful, right now you will not see me anywhere near Southeast Asia in the nearest future. And another thing that's important is that if you're traveling with a partner, it's incredibly taxing on any relationship to be 24/7 with someone, and with broken down laptops and arranging all of the travels and infections and also all sorts of things. But mainly just being 24/7 with the same person is super challenging. And I actually wanted to come up with some advice on that topic, but since I went to Bali with a boyfriend of mine of many years and came back alone, probably not the best person to talk about this, but just something to keep in mind, that you have to think about that. So what else? Oh, so coming back to the question of whether it's worth it. Probably, whatever you imagine this work and traveling lifestyle to be, it's for you probably going to be completely different from what you have in your head. But that's fine. Traveling opens your mind. It teaches you a lot about yourself. So that alone is worth it. So go and travel anyway. But don't expect traveling to fix your life. So for example, if you're a shy person and you decide to travel, most likely you will just be a shy person that's traveling. And maybe you will be too shy to meet new people. And maybe that will make your experience miserable. Traveling is unlikely to unmake you shy. So, and it's the same with all of the other things. I think Neil Gaiman really put it best. I really like this quote. Sorry, we need to get this quote. And he said, "Wherever you go, you take yourself with you." So, thank you.